When you see news happening, report it at WFLA.com.
From the official station of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is Bucs Bonus. Finally, a win to begin the playoff chase. How did the Bucs finally put it together on offense and defense against the Giants? And is this the beginning of the winning streak we all talked about before the bye week? The Bucs Bonus Show leaps into your home starting now.
Here's the snap, second down and goal. Bucs have 2 timeouts. Running the ball is Baker Mayfield. He fakes the pass. Cross to his left. To the one. Touchdown. Baker Mayfield put in a cape and flew into the end zone.
And a little Tommy Cutlets tribute to boot. The Bucs treated the Giants like chicken cutlets today in a much-needed win after the bye week. 30-7, a whooping. There it is. Tommy Cutlets, give it to me, baby. All right, welcome to the Bucs Bonus Show. I'm Dan Lucas. We knew it was going to have to start today. If the Bucs are going to catch the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC South, they need wins. They need them now. But over the weekend, some more bad news on the injury front. The Bucs were going to have to play this game today without safety Tyke Smith and also left tackle Tristan Wirfs. That was the big injury we watched all week. So Justin Skule comes in to play left tackle today, and you know what? It wasn't bad at all. Opening drive, Rachaad White goes airborne for the first down. Next play, Baker Mayfield to Bucky Irving. Watch this scrum here. He almost gets across the goal line. They rule him down at the 1, but Vita Vea comes in there. He's circled to be the lead blocker on the next play, and Sean Tucker walks in. We can all walk in behind Vita. 7-0 Bucs. All right, Giants offense off to a horrible start. 4th and 1. Bucs defense looks like it has a stop. They're going to have to measure it, though, and yes, it says yes. Thank you for the change. The Bucs take over. They kick a field goal after that. Second quarter, now it's Mayfield to Cade Otton, a 31-yard gain. And this drive's going to end with Bucky this time getting through that goal line, takes it in to make it 17-0. And guess what? The Bucs aren't finished right before the half. The Bucs are going to go 86 yards. Mayfield on the keeper. Goes airborne for the touchdown. Gives us a little Tommy Cutlets celebration after that 23-0. They missed the point after. Third quarter, here come the Giants, though, using the Wildcat. Tyrone Tracy takes the snap. And guess what? He's stripped of the football. So the Bucs take over again, a turnover inside the red zone. And now look at Mayfield go to work here. Hits Raheem Jarrett, 26 yards. This drive's going to go 95 yards, and White finishes it with a race to the goal line, 30-0. Bucs in a laugher. Fourth quarter now. Giants are finally on the board. But look at this. After a botched kick return, Bucky Irving just wanted a few yards here. How about 56 yards? Baker blocking downfield for him. A beautiful play. Unfortunately, didn't lead to anything beyond that. But big play for Bucky and the Bucs offense today. As the Bucs, well, they get that win they needed. 30-7 the final. Big day for the run game. 156 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns. Welcome back, Mike Evans. 68 yards on 5 catches. The Bucs defense sacked Tommy Cutlets DeVito 4 times in this game. That's the 5th time this season the defense has had 4 or more sacks. Lavonte David now has 31 career forced fumbles. That is second most among active NFL players. All right, we have post-game reaction from the Meadowlands. First up, head coach Todd Bowles, who said his team was very close to winning those tough games before the bye week, but he knew today a win was mandatory.
First off, what does it feel like to break that streak and to come out here after the bye and have such a convincing win?
It's good concentration. The guys focused on the little things. For the most part, we executed on both sides of the football. Still like to finish the game a little better, but they came back mentally tougher, and they came back ready to play.
All 3 running backs scored a touchdown. They were all involved fairly early in the game. Was that the plan during the bye week, was to make sure they all got their touches?
Yeah, we tried to make sure they got some touches during the game. We just got to hold on to the ball.
What are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield today?
He did a heck of a job. Baker just plays ball. You know, he loves playing ball. He had some great scrambles. He bought some time. He made some runs. He played a heck of a ball game.
Elijah Cansey was involved in a lot of plays. He had a sack, quarterback hit. I think he, recovered a fumble. Just talk about his ability to make impact plays.
Really coming into his own right now, starting to be a leader for us as well off the field and on the field, and he's really playing fast for us.
You talked about Mike Evans and his return. He hadn't played for a while. Just what he looked like to you?
I thought he looked just like he did before he got hurt. He made some catches early, made some throughout the ball game. He was fresh. He felt good afterwards, and it was good to have him back.
What can you say, too, about the way Baker spread the ball around to so many different receiving targets?
I think when Mike was hurt, it got him to trust a lot of the other guys. So now with Mike back, he can spread it around easier without having to think about and look at who's there, and everybody understands what they're doing. So everybody's in sync.
Would you have liked to see your team do better? I mean, it's such a convincing win, but you said you didn't like necessarily
finish the ball game. Finish the ball game. Defense, don't let them go down the field. And then offense, you got 2 downs to get 2 yards. We got to get that and close the game out.
I know Zion wasn't probably 100% with that hamstring, but to be able to have both of your starting cornerbacks out there at the same time, just how big was that for you guys as a defense and what you were trying to accomplish?
I thought they played a smart football game. They were under control. They didn't let the ball go out too many times. The ball didn't go over our head. So I thought they played a smart football game, and they focused on everything they had to do that we talked about during the week.
All right, let's take our first break of the night. When we come back, it's time to hear from quarterback Baker Mayfield. Played a huge role in this game in multiple ways. Yes, it was classic Baker. That's coming up next.
Bucs Bonus.
All right, welcome back to the Bucs Bonus Show. Quarterback Baker Mayfield had thrown a touchdown pass in every game this season until today, and he still had a leadership-type performance. He ran for a touchdown for the 3rd time this season. So here's Mayfield after the Bucs' 30-7 victory over the Giants.
It's been a while since you guys have been in the win column, almost a month or so. What was this effort like today? How did it feel? What made you guys come out and on fire the way you did?
Just the focus. Talked about it, getting away from the bye, get away from it for a little bit and come back ready to roll and play it 1 week at a time. And, offensively we did that for 3 quarters for the most part. And, that was the focus and energy we needed to play complementary football. And then come out in the second half and defense gets a turnover and, you put together a 95-yard drive. That's huge. That's complementary football. That's big time. That's what we've been looking for. And so it's good to see, and now we just need to build on it.
You finished that off with a kind of a whirling derby leap there in the end zone, and then I guess it was the DeVito celebration. Is that
Tribute to Tommy, yeah. He's a good dude. He's got swag.
You talk about complementary football and that 95-yard drive. You had 2 scoring drives that took a lot of time off the clock, and allowed you guys to maintain possession. How important is it to have that possession, and how does that help you guys win games?
It's huge. Offensive line played unbelievable today. Obviously, with Tristan out, Justin School stepped up in a huge way, but all those guys played well against a team that is very good up front defensively. So proud of those guys. And yeah, sustaining those drives, it's back-breaking drives. It's the things that, you keep the ball, your defense can go out there fresh, but then when you end with 7 points, it's even better. So yeah, big time by our guys.
Performance like this jumpstart the team for the rest of the season as you go down the stretch now?
We're hoping it builds confidence. We have belief that, we're still sitting and controlling our own destiny, but it's not just going to happen. So we have to take it 1 week at a time. And, guys, you find the recipe for success within your work week, the focus and how we came out and started fast. And you try to emulate that week after week and continue to build it. But, singular game focus.
All right, let's take another break, then break things down with our pal Scott Reynolds from PewterReport.com. Just how big of a deal was this showing by the Bucs offense? I will chat with Scott when we come back.
Bucs Bonus.
All right, welcome back to the Bucs Bonus Show. The storylines heading into the bye week were pretty frustrating for Bucs fans and the players. We all know what the Bucs have on their roster, but can they avoid the little things that have landed them in a situation where wins are right now paramount? I spoke with Scott Reynolds from PewterReport.com to see if this team finally looks like wins are now sustainable. All right, Scott, the Bucs did exactly what they wanted to do, had to do. Came out and dominated a football team and just won a game. What does this do as far as setting the tone for what has to be almost a miracle again to get into the postseason?
Well, this was a get-well game for the Buccaneers, and they really needed it. They had to snap that 4-game losing streak. that lingered into the bye week. This team was kind of angry at how it started, but it has some confidence in the fact that it finished strong last year. Can they do it again? Well, it had to start in New York, and boy, it sure did. The defense only gave up 1 touchdown, forced a red zone takeaway, which was key. We saw Liam Cohen's offense with Mike Evans back to scoring 30 points per game. That was a welcome sight. So this was certainly that kind of remedy for the Buccaneers' ails that had happened prior to the bye week.
Baker Mayfield did a lot today. He led the team in many, many ways. I mean, he's down the field blocking. Is this the guy that can get them to the postseason?
Yeah, it takes a lot of momentum, right? It takes 2 things, health and momentum, to go on a run at the end of the season and have some success in the postseason. The healthiest teams, the teams with momentum, are the ones that have the most success. And that's what Baker Mayfield gives you. He gives you the momentum. Now, he just has to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing, because his play can be kind of reckless at times. But the energy, the grit that he provides this team with, and not just the offense, the defense feeds off that too.
This is the run game straight. I mean, have they gotten themselves really lined up here to be a factor, which is always important in November and December football?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dan. And when you look at what Liam Cohen did, he admitted on his press conference day on Thursday that, yeah, he needed to get Sean Tucker more involved in the game. So we saw some Sean Tucker on that first drive, that first series by the Bucs offense. We saw him have 3 carries, including the initial touchdown. Rachaad White also had 3 carries. Bucky Irving had 3 catches. So, boy, what a great distribution. 3, 3, and 3 to the 3-headed monster on that opening drive to get not just the Buccaneers into the end zone, but to get those guys going.
You mentioned Mike Evans earlier. It was sort of a quiet 68 yards, but it was key at times, and it was just important to see him on the field. What did you think of his performance? And then moving forward, can they maybe start to get to him a little bit more?
Yeah, I think as he eases himself back in, we're going to see more explosive plays, more dynamic plays from Mike as that hamstring continues to kind of heal. This was a good kind of get back into the action game. 5 catches, 68 yards, kept some drives alive, helped this team march into the red zone. He also drew a penalty in the end zone, which set up Rachaad White's touchdown. It's not enough to keep Mike on pace for that 1,000 yards. That's a record that might die this year just because he's missed 3 games due to injury. But you never know. This guy always explodes against the Carolina Panthers. They're on deck next. We've yet to see Mike have a 100-yard game.
All right, defensively, let's stick to the interior line because Calijah Kancey and Vita Vea just had their way. How good are these guys as a pair?
They're phenomenal. It's such a tough 1-2 punch. Vita Vea brings the power and the size. Calijah Kancey brings that explosive athletic ability, that quickness off the ball. So there's just 2 ways they can beat you, with brute force and just sheer speed. And they're pairing each other so well up front, and not just stopping the run, but getting after the quarterback. We saw both those guys have 2 sacks against the Kansas City Chiefs. Calijah Kancey now has 5 sacks in 6 games. He has a new career high. Vita Vea already has 6 sacks because he had a sack against the Giants as well. He's 1 away from a new career high himself, and there's still so much of the season to be played. And again, these guys have momentum on the defensive side of the ball with how well they're playing. And they're not getting the pass rush from the outside, but boy, they're getting it from the inside.
All right, we'll take another break, then check out some of the action, including next week's opponent in the NFC South. Don't look now, but the Carolina Panthers are getting their act together today. They took the Chiefs down to the wire.
Bucs Bonus.
Hey, welcome back to the Bucs Bonus Show. The Bucs back on the road next Sunday against their old pal Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers team. It's beginning to show signs of life. It's been building and building. The Panthers hosting the 9-1 Kansas City Chiefs, down by 8 with less than 2 minutes to play. Bryce Young's pass incomplete to Adam Thielen, but it's pass interference. So the ball goes to the 1-yard line, and Chuba Hubbard scores on the next play. The Panthers tie it up on the 2-point conversion, but then this guy strikes. Patrick Mahomes gets free, sees a lot of room, and there he goes. Good block there. 33-yard run down to the 22-yard line, and Spencer Schrader wins it with a field goal as time expires. Chiefs escape yet again, 30-27. All right, what a crazy finish today between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Cavante Turpin, he misplayed the kickoff there. Then that little nifty spin move. And look at this. A 99-yard touchdown. Dallas builds a 10-point lead in the final 3 minutes. But now it's a 3-point game, just over 30 seconds to play. Commanders just going to chuck it down the field. Jaden Daniels to Terry McLaurin. But guess what? He's going to the end zone for an 86-yard touchdown. The Commanders now within a point. But the extra point is no good. They miss. Cowboys win 34-26 after they take the onside kick back for a touchdown. Wild. All right, how about more wildness here? Bears and Vikings. Caleb Williams to Keenan Allen for a touchdown with 22 seconds to play. The Bears cut their lead to 3 points. Onside kick, and the Bears recover. So that sets up a long field goal attempt for Cairo Santos to tie the game at 27. The Bears scored 11 points in 22 seconds to force overtime, but the Vikings get the ball second and win it with a John Parker Romo field goal, 30-27. And not quite as much drama here. Dolphins hosting the Patriots. Tua Tagovailoa to Jonnu Smith, 7-zip. And third quarter, the Dolphins just keep going here. Tua to Jalen Waddle for a touchdown to make it 31-0. Miami pours it on to win, 34-15. All right, when the Bucs Bonus Show returns, we'll wrap things up with our Gem of the Week. Plenty of choices thanks to the running backs all day long. We're going to crown one of those plays next.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, report it by sending in your photos and videos. Scan the QR code or visit WFLA.com/reportit.
Good snap, draw play. Bucky Irving running combo to the left. The stiff arm, breaks a tackle, digs his way across the 15 to the 20. Bucky Irving to the 30. Bucky Irving to the 40. Bucky Irving is collared from the... He's still running with the football. Irving to the Giants' 40-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know what was more impressive, the 56-yard run by Bucky Irving or the downfield blocking by Baker Mayfield. The big question is, how did Baker beat the other 20 guys down the field and make those blocks? An absolutely incredible display by both of those players. All right, finally tonight, while the Bucs were playing on the football field, the USF women's basketball team played in the WBCA showcase today at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. USF took on number 25 Louisville, and the Bulls trailed by 10 at the half. Laura Putu, after a turnover, puts that one in, and that cuts the lead to 3 in the fourth quarter here. Sammy Puisis then drives, pulls up, and now USF takes the lead, 59-57. But here comes Louisville. Jalea Williams on the baseline puts the Cards back on top, under a minute to go. Louisville hangs on to win 64-60. Tough show there for USF, but they come up short against the 25th ranked team. All right, the USF men's team also won a buzzer beater to beat Wright State today, so good day for Ben Fletcher and the Bulls. Lightning back in action tomorrow night. The Bucs on the road next week at the Carolina Panthers. That's become an interesting matchup right now. Another game the Bucs must win. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see you right back here next Sunday. Good night.
First shot, White on the carry inside the 20.